Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty. Joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall, Chargers homer.
Yeah, and this is for Garret Campbell, our investment guy, the financial planner.
Show me the money!
Show it to me.
Yeah,
I'll take that one too.
Get used to that, right?
Yep.
Because your clients are always going to be wanting more and more and more, and it's hard to keep clients satisfied. But that's what we're going to talk about a little bit with Kyle here. Kyle's got some listings. He's got some different stuff going on. And how's the real estate market, Kyle?
The real estate market is amazing.
Still amazing.
It's still amazing. It's always amazing, and there's always opportunity. So, you know, people might listen to our show or listen to other realtors, and they're always saying, it's a good time, it's a good time. Well, it's always a good time to do something. It's just a matter of if it's a good time to buy or if it's a good time to sell. So whether it's the stock market, whether it's the real estate market, or the Bitcoin market, which I'm totally geeking out on these days, there's always a good time to be in the market.
Money, sell.
I know that you don't understand Bitcoin, Jason.
Nobody understands Bitcoin. It's gonna be the next crash. I guarantee it. It's not backed by anything. So eventually the thing will just fade. But
I mean, it's only been like 7 years, so it's probably going to fade soon, right?
Yeah. It's usually right around 7 years.
Yeah.
It's like the 7-year itch.
Yeah, and it's only worth like 3,000 times what it started out at.
Yeah.
So it's totally fading out.
So if you're
right
3,000 times up, please do sell, Kyle.
It's all cyclical, right?
Let's buy some real estate. Let's talk real estate.
So the key is, what is the opportunity today? And that's kind of our goal with the show, is to really, educate you guys as a listener of how do you take advantage of this market right now. And Sarah conveniently is actually doing exactly what we recommend right now, which is making the move up. That's really the opportunity right now. And what we're seeing is that there's a huge shortage of homes for sale. In a normal market, we have about 6 months worth of homes for sale. And what that means is if nothing else came on the market, in 6 months, we would be out of homes for sale.
Okay.
So in a normal market, we have around 6 months. We're hovering right around 2 months of homes for sale. So we've got about a third of the supply of homes that we typically have for sale.
And usually once you list a home, you have your big open house weekend, and we've talked about this past, a lot of things you do, but usually within the first 3 or 4 days of listing, you're having 5 to 20 offers that first week, right?
It is always the hope. It's never the expectation, but more often than not, our listings are getting multiple offers within the first week or two.
And I'm seeing them like listed at $479, and they go in escrow over $500,000.
We've had a lot of that lately.
Yeah.
So I mean, the last couple we've listed in Santee, we listed a house at $480, which was higher than all the recent sales in the area. We got, I think, 8 offers on that one. That's closing next week at $500. We listed another one recently in Santee for $400. The highest sale prior to that was $393. So we listed $7,000 above the highest sale, and that went in escrow $9,000 over. So 16,000 over.
Kind of like what you had Sarah do is you had Sarah go ahead and she found the perfect home. It was a home she really wanted, her and Dave and the family. And we told that seller, look, we want this house. Here's our offer, but we got to sell our house. So you made it contingent. And then you listed their home, had multiple offers, then you picked the buyer, and now we just need to wrap it up and get that closed. You're saying that's like the perfect thing to do, and that way you're not stuck without a house, right? She has, right now, she kind of has both houses, right? The house she currently lives in, once that closes, she'll move those equity over to the new house, close on that one.
Right. And the reason the opportunity is so big in that is that the lower the price point gets, the lower the inventory gets, or the lower the supply of homes gets.
So that's the competition is on that lower, that single family home.
Yeah, supply goes down, competition goes up, and ultimately prices go up. So when you're selling the $400,000 or $500,000 house, there's a massive amount of demand for that house. When you start moving up to the higher price point, and obviously it's all relative to the market. So in Santee, 700 plus is on the higher end of the price scale.
Right.
There's a lot more inventory available to choose from, and there's less competition. Right. So it's a perfect storm where you get to sell and kind of be in control because there's no other choices for buyers. But then when you're going out and you're looking to buy, you actually have a good amount of choices available to you. So you really get the best of both worlds. And that's the opportunity. And the thing that we know is that values are going up anywhere from 0.5% to 1% per month right now, which means 6 to 12%
let's draw an example
over the next year.
Right? Like $500,000 for a first-time home buyer home is kind of crazy. Because when I was Garret and Mr. Coachy's age, $500,000, that's where Tony Gwynn lived in Carmel Mountain. okay, for $500,000. You know, the starter home when I was their age was $100,000 in San Marcos when they first opened it up, and it's different. Now, Sarah, if you don't mind me asking, roughly how much did you buy your house in Santee in what year, roughly?
10 years ago, it was $360,000.
Okay, so $360,000 10 years ago, and you're now in escrow over $500,000. We won't talk about the exact details, but it's over $500,000.
Right.
So you've gone up quite a bit, about $150,000 in gross equity, and you're taking those funds and you're rolling into a larger, more executive home on the golf course, right? And you're able to do that because you made the investment of buying 10 years when you were Garrett's age, right?
Right.
You know, so you made that great
Are
sacrifice.
you trying to date her right now? Like,
Seriously.
yeah,
Come on.
dang, Jason.
Hey, if I was single and she was single, I would date Sarah. All right?
Oh, wow.
Sarah's a great gal.
Wow.
Right? I've known her for a while.
I hear that all the time.
Sarah, I hear it all the time. I like that. See, I know Dave
go with
really
it.
well, and she knows Amanda. But yeah, she's a great gal. But I just wanted to draw that example so that people understand why wait. Because
Right.
there's so many millennials, and let's talk about that. We're bringing a millennial in here, Garrett. Why are a lot of millennials waiting to buy? Is it because they saw the crash when they were maybe in high school? What is it that you think they're holding on buying? Now, we're starting to get more and more buyers. Kyle can talk about that, but why are some of them waiting?
Yeah, I think a lot of them do have that unrealistic expectation of it crashing like it did in 08. That's not very realistic. I think a lot of them are really trying to build up that 20%. They really don't want to be paying the PMI, and that's really holding them back. They don't
want to pay the PMI, but they want to pay $100,000 more in a year
Right.
for the house.
Yep.
Again, reach out to Kyle on that, 619-663-7355. We got lots of programs, no money down, 3%, 5%, no MI programs. Kyle, what do we got listings coming up?
Listings coming up. We got actually a great one coming up in Santee tomorrow. Cookie cutter, 3-bed, 2-bath house, a little over 1,000 square feet for $450,000.
Wow.
You get, and it's remodeled.
It's
You get a
remodeled, it's all
remodeled
done
home,
in
3-bed,
Santee.
2-bath, $450,000 in Santee. Great schools, close to the freeway, central heating and air.
Can you send me that address? Text me after. I actually have a client that missed out on the other house we just talked
If
about.
you want that address, you're
going
going to have to text me, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Thank you so much for listening to Whissel Wednesdays. We'll talk to you next week.